No. You won't be moving anywhere anytime soon. And unfortunately for you, the tide is coming in. Why don't you just sit there and think about your life? And I suppose it'll be over relatively soon.
Now, where is that Kirstin thing? Got to be around here somewhere. Now we would have been able to find you. You hadn't been for that stupid cursed map. Oh, it's gonna take me all week scouring this beach for everything. Oh dear, we got a live one. Oh my, I'm so sorry. I didn't expect to see anyone living. It's not like sirens to leave any of their victims alive. In fact, I've never heard of that happening before. Strange. Are you all right? You're looking a bit pale. I suppose that's to be expected, ordeal that you went through. Oh, you're stuck on the spot there. I see. The siren must have given you some sort of water to drink, right? Right. Oh yeah, that's an old sea witch trick, I suppose. See, that water was laced with just a bit of jellyfish venom. The type of venom that doesn't necessarily kill you, but paralyzes you so that, your victim can slowly kill you at their leisure. So, it does not affect the sirens, but they like to do that to their victims sometimes. So here's the thing. When a siren sings, as I'm sure you likely know, all of the victims who hear it are enchanted. But sometimes sirens, they actually like it when their victims are not enchanted, when they finish them off, I suppose. So they'll feed them some of that water so they cannot move, but once the enchantment wears off, then they are fully aware of what's happening to them. Rather sadistic, I suppose. Not exactly pleasant folks, those sea witches. But you're not dead, and you're here on your own. Fascinating. Oh, who am I? I'm sorry, how rude of me. Didn't I introduce myself? Fraser. Name's Fraser. Oh, you can't shake my hand. Sorry about that. Oh, no, I'm not alive. No, I'm dead. I'm a spirit. Have you never seen a spirit before? Oh, you have. Just been a while, I suppose. Sure, yeah. Well, my ship went down right over there in the bay, actually. Rather close to where yours went down, I believe. How'd they do it this time? Was there some sort of a storm off in the horizon that looked like it was still a ways away, but then all of a sudden it was upon you, and everyone was running around changing the rigging and everything and not paying attention until you heard that sultry sound of the siren song. Right. By that time it's too late. Well, that's what they like to do. Apparently they made a deal with some sort of sky spirits. Not like a dead spirit, like the actual, nature spirits or whatever, to create storms like that when they want to. I'm not sure what they give them in return, but must be rather lucrative because the sirens sure take advantage of that. Yeah. Also, it does not help that your ship happened to have all that cursed treasure on board. Just bad luck all around, really. Cursed? Yeah, of course it was cursed. What, do you think there's just a whole mountain full of loot just sitting there for anyone to take that isn't cursed? Why do you think it's still there? Yeah, because there's a curse on it. In fact, the map, I was looking for a map, actually. You see, I died here a long time ago. I was actually one of the smugglers who used to compile that loot over there at Smuggler's Cove. And our ship went down thanks to the sirens. But right before our captain died, our captain was well versed in enchantment. Now, he wasn't powerful enough to get out of the paralyzation from that unfortunate water mixture. But before he died, he put a curse on our loot over there in Smuggler's Cove, and in any sort of maps or journals of his who happened to, say anything about the location of that treasure, so that anyone who tried to get it would face an untimely demise, most likely, or at least have some awful unpleasantries done to them. I don't know the all of the details of the curse that he made, but it was quite unpleasant. We've seen plenty of ships go down between, here and there and everywhere in between on this cove, trying to find the smuggler's bounty. Unfortunately for you, you had a captain who actually knew how to get through the ship graveyard and find the treasure. But that was as far as he got. Does not do much good if you can't spend that treasure because you're dead. Right. So now I gotta go see if I can track down that map that your captain must have had, because I try to keep him with me. Try to collect him, you see, and then can make sure that no harm comes to other people, for they might find the maps. See, part of the curse is that the maps can't be destroyed. Sort of that twisted way of thinking. So even if it was submerged in the seawater, it would come out completely dry. Anyone could find it. I've tried to destroy them. I've tried burning them. I've tried tearing them up, and the next day there they are, right where I left them, just perfect condition. So the only way that I found to actually protect other people from those maps and journals and everything is to just keep them with myself. So if you happen to find any sort of map, you let me know for sure, so I can make sure no one else suffers your fate. Although I suppose not your fate, the fate of the rest of your crew members, unfortunately. But not you. Something must be special about you. How is it that you escaped from the siren's fate? Oh, you were immune to her singing, were you? Well, you definitely have to tell me how you did that. If I'd known how to do that, then I could have saved my crew. Stopped all of this mess about the curse from even happening. A potion? Really? Well, that's a sort of magic I never heard of. A potion strong enough to do that. You see, where we come from, potions are mostly just, mild healers and things like that with herbs and stuff, but they cannot accomplish something as strong as waylaying the enchantment of a beast as powerful as a siren. Fascinating. Well, good fortune for you, I suppose. Although here you are, on the beach, still paralyzed, and doesn't it look like you have too much longer before the tide gets to you? So obviously, being impervious to their singing wasn't quite enough. The siren tricked you into drinking still, eh? Right, well, I guess we best do what we can about that, eh? Sure, let me just take a closer look at you here. We'll see what I can do for you. Oh, sure, I think I've got something that could maybe help. It depends. I suppose worst comes to worst, I can at least move you up the shore a bit until it wears off. But maybe I could help you out a bit sooner than that too. Okay, well, it's a good sign that you can talk at least. That's good, you're not completely paralyzed. Could you try wiggling your fingers for me a bit? Nothing? Okay, that's fine, that's fine. Yeah, I think we'd better use 2 of them, just to be sure it's still quite strong. Right, here. I think I got some on me somewhere. Oh. Ah! There we are. Got a few right in here. Have you ever heard of something called a mermaid's bubble? No? Good. It's quite a guarded secret by most of the sea folk. But they are quite a powerful magic. You see, mermaids have their own sort of magic. Different than the sirens and different than any sort of water spirits or any other beings that might live in the oceans. And you see, while sirens tend to be quite vicious, mermaids are a bit more docile. Well, yeah, I would say docile. They're not inherently bad, but I guess they're not entirely good either. You've got some good mermaids and some bad mermaids, just like people. You've got some good people and some bad people. Or neutral, I suppose. But they tend to keep to themselves in their sort of colonies, yeah, under the water. But they do have quite a bit of healing magic, just sort of innately. So these are called mermaid's bubbles. They're not actually bubbles, I don't think. What are you? I don't know, some sort of a magical thing. I promise it's magic. And these little bubbles can be used to neutralize any other sort of magic. Well, not any sort of magic, but definitely the magic of some other unfortunate creatures of the sea, like that awful jellyfish. So wouldn't that be enough magic to probably stop you from that unfortunate curse of the siren song? But should be able to at least sort of get you moving again. Does that sound good? Alright, perfect. Now, all you have to do is hold still. Obviously, you're gonna hold still, you're paralyzed. You're not going anywhere. Sorry, bad joke. You just hold still and take some deep breaths. Try to stay very calm, alright? It should not hurt. You shouldn't really feel anything except maybe some sort of a tingling a bit as your limbs start to wake up a bit, okay? Just a bit there. Okay. You might feel sort of a cool, calming feeling washing over you too. Mermaid's magic seems to have that effect on most people. It's a very soothing, healing sort of magic. Mermaids don't necessarily have the power to enchant other people to do their will, like the sirens. But then again, a siren couldn't heal you, even if she wanted to. Not that she would want to, most likely, but you never know. Just different creatures doing different things. Although, just word to the wise, never mistake a mermaid for a siren, or vice versa, really. They get rather touchy about it. If you don't know, best to just not say anything until she says what she is. At least a mermaid wouldn't most likely not bite your head off for it. Of course, the siren would most likely bite your head off for no reason at all, so I suppose if you do mistake her for a mermaid, you'll just die a bit quicker. Just maybe a good thing, actually, eh? Not exactly a pleasant way to go by siren. See, first what they do is they suck out your soul using their song and some other sort of magical techniques to pull out your energy, and then they devour your body. Almost done. Just gonna charge these up a bit more, and then hopefully you'll be able to move. Just 2 shakes of a whale's tail. Now, I told you my name, but I never asked for yours. What is your name? Nice to meet you. Fraser? Oh, well, that's my surname, yeah. It's the name I normally used on ships. You see, if you wrote a name like Charlotte onto the manifesto for some sort of ship for going off on a voyage, there are quite a few captains out there who get a bit superstitious about the whole women being on board a ship thing. Just a bunch of hogwash if you ask me. But superstitions can run strong. Don't need logic for it. Some people still think that having a woman on board is bad luck. So, I would, instead of writing Charlotte, I would write Fraser. And then they would just assume that I was a man until I was already on board. Usually they'd see how good I was at climbing the rigging and, hoisting the sails and all that. And by that time they'd need me. Alright. Now, do you think you could give me a bit of a wiggle of those fingers? Perfect. Good. Now, how about just go slow? There's no need to rush, but try moving your arms and your legs a bit. Just see, sort of, try to get a waken up. Good. Now, it might be just a bit sore. I mean, there was sort of a poison inside of you, so you never know. It's not like there's no side effects, but for the most part, you should be able to move within a couple minutes, I would think. Now, you didn't happen to find any sort of maps around here, did you? No. I'll have to keep looking, I suppose. So why did the siren leave after paralyzing you? Obviously, even without her singing, she was still able to subdue you. What exactly was it that made her so afraid? Oh, sure, yeah, I got right here. Interesting. What sort of treasure would scare something the likes of the siren? Well, you'll have to explain this, because to me it just looks like a necklace. What exactly is this? A fireball necklace? What exactly does that do? I mean, obviously something with fire. It's like little spells? Oh, that's fascinating. Could definitely see a siren not liking that. Not one bit. That's, it'd be quite formidable fighting them. So she just decided to leave you to the tide instead. Understandable. You look pretty nice on me, don't you think? It's alright, what have I got to use spells for? No, it's alright. Interesting. So here we have some sailor with a potion impervious to the siren's song. and a necklace that's the perfect thing to scare away the beast. Fascinating. Sure, you've got quite a story. Oh, it's alright. You don't have to share it with a lowly ghost. What am I going to do with that? Anyway, I'm glad that you're starting to get on the mend there. Do you know how to get back to the mainland from here? Okay, well, I mean, you could swim. There's definitely, you can just head on that way. But if you head down the beach this way, just a bit more, about, a few minutes walk from here, there are some caves. And if you go to the one on the left, not the right will take you down to a grotto where, unless you'd like to swim with the fishes, there's nothing there for you. But if you take the one on the left and you walk all the way down, it'll start to turn, and that'll take you back to the mainland. On the other side, you'll start to see some light at the end of the tunnel. So you can take that way. It'd probably be quite a bit simpler than swimming, especially in the state that you're in. I'm not sure you'd make it, honestly. And who knows where those pesky sirens are off to. At least in the caves, you won't run into them. They've got to stay by the water. So, sorry I cannot be more help. Obviously, I can interact with objects, but as a ghost, I can actually touch you. I can read your aura. I can do all sorts of that sort of thing, but I can't actually touch you. See? Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's a bit weird, I suppose. sorry. But, anyway, it looks like you'll most likely be fine. If you happen to see a map, well, don't read it. Let's just say that. Because even just looking at the map is enough to drive you mad with some sort of an obsession, and you've just got to find the treasure. Of course, now I guess most of the treasure's at the bottom of the ocean, isn't it? Yeah, well, good riddance. Maybe it'll stay there. The first 100 years or so after we were down, it was mostly just full of anger and resentment of not getting to spend our treasure and all that sort of thing. And, resentment at everybody who came trying to look for it. But after 100 years, you start to just reprioritize things. I don't care about it anymore. What am I going to do with a bunch of treasure? I'm a ghost. Can't spend it. Anyway, so now I'm just here trying to warn people, or at least when the inevitable doom befalls people, then I can make sure it doesn't befall anyone else. Anyway, it was very interesting meeting you. Strange sailor. Good luck in your journey back to Tivermack. Smooth sailing.